this is my Power Wagon, and it's just sitting here in timeout. Actually, it's been sitting in the yard. It was sitting on the trailer before that. Then I dumped it off the trailer to go somewhere with the trailer, and it sat in the yard for a while in timeout. And now I finally got around to trying, well, not trying, I actually did succeed at getting it mostly in the barn. And now it's going to sit here for a little while longer, because I've got my ass caught on fire. My ass caught on fire about this rhino. It's actually a Ranger, a Polaris Ranger, but we don't do that. We just call it a rhino because we knew about rhinos first, so we call it a rhino. So my rhino, I bought wrecked because I can't afford a new one, and I fixed the front end. The whole front end was blown out. A girl hit a tree and mangled it. I fixed the front end and made it work, and I've just been driving it around half wrecked ever since. And that was great, but I kind of felt like a real idiot. I mean, the tires didn't hold air because the front wheels were all bent to shit and they were all crappy. And I would have to put air in the tires every time I wanted to drive it, or I wouldn't feel like it, and then I'd just drive it with flat tires. And I really kind of felt bad about it. So yesterday I got a bug up my ass, and hey, careful, you'll get a bug up your ass. And yesterday I put these tires on it, so now I'm feeling really good about it. Of course, the bed was rubbing the tires, so this morning I lifted the back end. And now I think I'm finally gonna get around to straightening the frame, because one side's about 8 inches pushed back. So I'm gonna cut the front of the frame in half, cut the front section of the frame off, straighten it out, weld it back together, put a floor in it, put a dashboard in it. Finally gonna mount the radiator, it's just hanging on zip ties, and probably put a hood on it, and then put a back seat and a longer extended bed. And I'm just gonna stand here and point my finger, and Cordy's gonna do all the work. What you eating, Hare? Seems it jumped a little. Now what do I do? We've got a minor plastic fire, but that's no big deal. And I've got it strapped tight. Now, the frame dropped a little, but I'm gonna call that part of the suspension lift. And I'm just gonna leave it dropped. I'm gonna Z the frame, drop the front end out of it a little bit. It's got a long front drive shaft. I don't think I'll have any U-joint issues doing that. And now that we've got this side linked tight, we're gonna go ahead and pull that side forward until the wheelbase is correct, or close abouts. If the truck falls on my head, I'll be dead. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, the fuck, Jimmy Durr? You should be working on the slag hag. We really wanted to see that thing work, and you drug it halfway across the country, and you thought you could make it work, and then you brought it home, and you didn't even touch it since then. It's sitting over there by the garbage pile. And I know, it's just all this stuff make you kind of depressed after a while when you work on all this stuff and it don't work. So I don't know, maybe I'm a bit of a scatterbrain. It's hard to say. So I got a strap holding the floor up there to the windshield frame, which is keeping the frame in check from sliding side to side. Then I got a strap from that A-arm to the frame behind the gas tank, holding that side of the frame pinned back. Then I've got a strap hooked up here from the A-arm to the mega truck, and that one there is yanking the front of this frame forward and straightening her out. So we just give her a little crank, and here she comes. Woo! So now I'm gonna straighten the roof out, kind of. The idea is to get this to touch that. So here's a piece of irrigation pipe that I just dug up out of the woods, and I'm gonna use this to make a drive shaft tunnel. Little chopping and splicing, cutting and welding. And I'll have a floor in my Rhino Ranger. Ta-da! We're gonna throw the old broken up hood on there and make it look more like a Rhino Ranger. Good as new. Hey, what you working on?
Does it do go on the ground?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you. You guys are the best. So put this on here. It's called a grill. Need to fall out.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
My backpack. Shall we drive on the road?
Maybe. I've added a front bumper, a winch, and even zip tied the front hood back on. Well, I mean, it's got a couple bolts in it. It's not totally zip tied. I've got a floor. I've got fenders. I've got a basket to put my shoes in.
I've got dingo head.
I've got an air intake raised up above the water line.
I've got a winter.
V-treads, and even a custom lift kit. It's pretty badass.
Daddy, say what day it is.
I found that license plate in the woods. It might work. All right, this is technically our first ride in the new modified Rhino. Actually, I've been driving it for a while because I needed it to work. But here we go, a family trip. You ready, dude? Dressed up like stink bug.
Give me Lenny. You're gonna be driving with no hands. I was holding
Okay, we did it. The girls are crying.
Boys are flying.
There's mud in your hair.
We did it. The girls are crying. It's time
Did you
to
go
leave.
in the mud?
There's mud in your hair.
That mud? Is that the mud puddle? Did you get mud all over the
I'm gonna
tires?
play in the mud and have fun.
No.
What?
The girls don't want to get muddy.
Well, I can.
Oh, the girls are out now? Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.
I can make it over there.
I thought you didn't want to get muddy.